Welcome to Rainbow Sun Qigong instruction. You'll get the most use out of this video by watching this instruction section, then practicing along with the practice section. It will help you to do this several times. After a while, you'll be ready to skip right to the practice section. When you're comfortable doing Rainbow Sun Qigong on your own without the video, find a nice garden or park where there aren't any TVs. Now let's get started. There are 4 parts to Rainbow Sun Qigong: warm up, gather the qi, move the qi, and closing. We begin with part 1, warm-up. The purpose of warm-up in Qigong is to prepare the body and mind for qi cultivation. It includes instruction for standing and sitting postures, aligning the mind, pat down, bouncing, hold the moon, reach for the stars, and wake up the dragon. Instruction will begin with aligning the body in either a standing or sitting posture, then aligning the mind. In actual practice, however, these alignments will happen simultaneously. For standing posture, stand with your feet parallel, shoulder-width apart. This may feel awkward at first, but with practice, you will soon grow used to it. Your knees will be soft, not locked. Shoulders are relaxed and loose under the arms, so qi can flow more easily. To align the spine, roll your pelvis under a bit so the tailbone points down midway between the center of your feet, and elongate your spine upward as if being held up by a string attached to the top of your head. When doing this, it doesn't mean the chin goes up. Chin stays parallel to the floor. For sitting posture, use a comfortable straight back chair. Sit at the edge, keeping your spine elongated and straight. Your knees will be bent at a 90-degree angle, feet flat on the floor, shoulder-width apart, and parallel. Knees are straight out from the hips. You may also combine standing and sitting. Begin with standing, then move to sitting when you need to. It's helpful to have your chair behind you for an easy transition. Align the mind. To be effective when working with qi, it is necessary to bring your attention inward, leaving the outside world behind. Aligning the mind differentiates qigong from other forms of exercise. In either standing or sitting posture, imagine you have a 1-inch pole that goes from the top of your head to between your legs through the center of your body. Bring your focused attention into this central pole. It might feel like you're pulling inside, like a turtle pulls its head into its shell. This is sometimes called centering. Now sink your attention down inside this pole to the lower belly area below the navel. In Qigong, this is called dantian. It translates as sea of energy. You also have a sea of energy in the center of your chest, called middle dantian, and in the center of your head behind the eyes, called upper dantian. In part 3, we will be working with these 3 seas of energy. Once your mind is centered, imagine yourself in a place of natural beauty, surrounded by others practicing Qigong along with you. This method has been found to enhance the Qigong experience when practicing alone at home. Once aligned in body and mind, you begin warm-up movements. First is pat-down. The pat-down stimulates the circulation of blood, lymph, and qi at the surface of the body. The specific direction of the pat-down, such as patting down the inside of the arms and up the outside of the arms, or down the back and sides of the legs and up the insides of the legs, follows the natural direction qi flows through the body. If for some reason you are unable to pat your body, the alternative method is to massage with your palms. Make small circles with the palm of your hand, following the same sequence as the pat-down in the video. Next is bouncing. Bouncing stimulates the internal circulation of blood, lymph, and qi. It has been called jumping up and down to remove 10,000 sicknesses. It is considered one of the best Qigong exercises you can do for yourself. Bounce on the balls of your feet with the body loose and spine straight as the heels gently strike the floor. Be as gentle or as vigorous as your body allows. If your calves get tired, bounce without your heels lifting from the floor for a moment while continuing to shake up and down. If you're using sitting posture, still bounce your torso to the best of your ability, not just the legs. If you have spinal considerations, consult your doctor or use alternative movements that work for you. The key is to move the body to increase circulation. Next is hold the moon, reach for the stars. It's a vertical stretch and breathing exercise. Its purpose is to increase lung capacity, promote flexibility, and calm the mind. One breathing cycle is 1 breath in while raising your arm, pausing the breath while you hold the moon, reach for the stars, hold the moon, then 1 breath out as the arm floats down. Also notice the 90-degree angle of the wrist. This is a Qigong movement that calms the mind. At the outside edge of the wrist is an acupressure point called Spirit Gate. When this point is stimulated, it has a natural calming effect. The last warm-up is Wake Up the dragon being your spine. It combines two exercises for spinal flexibility and deepening breathing. In the first movement, the spine is twisted from side to side. In the second, back and forth. When twisting side to side, lead with your shoulder while keeping your feet squared up in standing posture and your head level. In this way, your knees are protected and the twist happens with the spine. Remember to keep your chin parallel to the floor to avoid leaning your head back to look over your shoulder. Arch back, curl forward is the second movement to Wake Up the Dragon. When you arch back, breathe in. Your hands can also be placed in the small of your back if you need extra support. When you curl forward, breathe out. Curl your shoulders around while at the same time round the small of your back as if pushing it toward a wall. Make sure you don't bend over or you'll put unneeded stress on your lower back. As with all Qigong movements, do these only to your ability and modify them when necessary. If you have very little flexibility, make sure to visualize doing the exercise as if you had full flexibility. In this way, the mind and body work together, and soon your body will be doing what your mind has been visualizing. This ends warm-up instruction. Let's move to part 2, Gather the Qi. The purpose of this part of the form, Gather Qi, is threefold. First, to focus the mind for gathering Qi. Second, to increase your awareness and sensitivity to the invisible substance we call Qi. And third, to balance and collect Qi for use in part 3. Instruction for part 2 includes key points to keep in mind, an introduction to some of the Qi sensations you might experience, and individual guidance for each of the movements in part 2. Hold Rainbow Sun, Rocking, Ride the Wave, Gather Earth, Gather Heaven, Reach Out to Infinity, and Rotate Rainbow Sun. When doing the movements in part 2, there are a few things to keep in mind. At the beginning of this section, you will be guided to slowly bring your hands up to waist level facing each other, then to move your attention into your hands. It will be important to keep your relaxed but focused attention in your hands throughout all of part 2 in order to be successful in gaining sensitivity to the Qi. This relaxed attention is sometimes called the effortless effort. When you do this, you may begin to feel sensations in your hands such as tingling, fullness, or warmth. This is called having the Qi feel, or Qi sensation in your hands. Tingling, fullness, or warmth are a few examples of Qi sensation, but not the only ones people experience. And if you don't experience anything at first, keep practicing. The more you keep your mind focused, the more success you will have. Next, be sure to keep your movements slow, even, and smooth, pacing with me in the practice section in order to achieve, then keep the Qi sensation. Quick or uneven movements of your hands disperse the Qi. So if you feel an itch, simply observe it but don't scratch it. Or if the telephone rings, let it ring and stay in your focused state with your attention on your hands, continuing your movements. An important aspect of your Qigong training is learning how to retain your inner focus even in the midst of other activity. The ability to do this creates opportunities for the mind to relax so the body can heal and come back into balance. Now for some pointers on the individual movements in part 2. The first movement is Hold Rainbow Sun. Your hands will float up to the waist, facing each other as if holding a rainbow sun between your palms. The movement begins by circling out, down, and back around. The hands are no higher than the waist, elbows bent at a 90-degree angle, and the shoulders relaxed. This movement continues for a total of 6 times. The key is to keep your focused attention on your hands and make your movements as fluid and smooth as possible. The second movement is a reverse of Hold Rainbow Sun while beginning to rock back and forth on your feet. You will rock slightly forward onto the balls of your feet and back onto the heels, all coordinated with the hand movements. Rocking is useful in developing coordination and balance. These multiple actions and mind focus are all part of Qigong training. Rocking also prepares you for the third movement, Ride the Wave. In this movement, you continue rocking and circling your hands in the same reverse direction, but now the hands face down toward the floor and float up shoulder height as if you're riding a wave. To make the circle, all you have to do is drop your elbows, keeping your shoulders relaxed, and your hands will follow back and down. Make sure to keep the shoulders relaxed also as the hands rise up again with the next wave. This movement is done 6 times. The fourth movement is Gather Earth, Gather Heaven. While still keeping your attention focused on your hands, imagine you are gathering Earth Qi, then rotating your hands up to gather Heaven Qi. The movement of the hands is subtle, more a wrist movement to gather than an arm movement. It might be helpful to practice this in front of a mirror. As you work with this invisible substance, you may begin to develop a sensitivity to the different qualities of Qi in your environment. For example, you feel differently standing by the ocean than you would in a quiet forest or a desert. All are examples of earth energy, but each has its own unique Qi qualities. For this reason, Qigong has always been practiced in places of great beauty that inspire the senses. Heaven Qi is light, such as sun, moon, or starlight, each with their own qualities. Heaven Qi is also breath, so when you breathe in, you're gathering heaven energy. Heaven Qi can also be whatever mystical quality you care to attribute to it. However you imagine these energies, smile and gather them to you, breathing them in while keeping your attention on your hands. For some, it's easiest not to think of heaven or earth energies at all, but to hold an intention that you're gathering all you need for the moment. Use this if it will help you. The fifth movement is Reach Out to Infinity. Imagine you are reaching out to the edges of the universe, gathering all the Qi qualities you need for your personal well-being. The movement will be very fluid and smooth. Notice how high the hand goes that reaches out. The shoulders stay fully relaxed, and the hand doesn't come up much further than the shoulder. Oftentimes when people are first learning this, they bring their hands up over their heads as if they're swimming. When this happens, the shoulders are no longer relaxed. It might help you to practice this movement in front of a mirror. Now notice the opposite hand. See how it floats down and turns up as if holding the gathered Qi. Reach Out to Infinity may take some practice, but it is excellent for both gathering Qi and coordination. For many, it becomes their favorite movement. The last movement in Part 2 is Rotate Rainbow Sun. This movement is to balance the Qi. Rotate your hands back and forth as you hold the energy between them, keeping your shoulders relaxed. As you gain a sensitivity to the invisible substance, you may begin to feel as if you're pouring something back and forth from hand to hand. This is another Qi sensation you may experience that is perfectly normal to Qigong. This ends instruction for Part 2. Now we move to Part 3, Move the Qi. In this part of the form, you will utilize the Qi you have gathered. First, you will clear stagnant Qi from your body. Second, you will replenish your Qi stores. Instruction in Part 3 includes Draw Down Sun, Fill 3 centers, Stand in Rainbow Sun, and Heal with Rainbow Sun. In the first movement, Draw Down Sun, you will be clearing your body of stagnation. Imagine drawing down the rainbow sun starting from above your head, going through your body and 3 feet into the earth, where the earth recycles the Qi you no longer need. This is done 3 times. The first time, imagine you are clearing your mental body. The second time through, your emotional body, and the third, your physical body. Each time you are clearing, give up into the rainbow sun all that no longer serves you. And it might be something different every time you do your Qigong practice. Some days, you might be more emotionally or mentally tired and want to clear that away. Other days, you might be in spiritual distress or physical pain. Sometimes you don't even know. Just know you are clearing and feel good about it. You can draw down sun as many times as you want until you feel clear. In the video, we will do this 3 times. Once you are clear, it is time to fill 3 centers. The physical movement for this is the same as Draw Down Sun. However, now you use your focused attention to direct the Qi into each of your 3 dantians, or seas of energy, mentioned in Part 1. As review, the lower, middle, and upper dantians are respectively in your lower belly below the navel, in the center of your chest, and in your head. When you lift your arms up, imagine greeting the rainbow sun with a smile. As you draw your hands down, imagine filling the upper center, then the middle center, then lower dantian. At this point in the practice section, you will be guided to let the elbows float to your sides. Your hands will be facing each other. You move directly into the third movement, Stand in Rainbow Sun. The purpose of Stand in Rainbow Sun is to store all the qi you have gathered. In this movement, you will be guided to close your eyes and imagine Rainbow Sun growing until you stand completely in a circle of rainbow colors and light. Then imagine all the pores of your body opening up and the qi you have collected rushing in, filling you. If you have a particular healing need, imagine it is being healed. See and feel yourself perfectly healthy and strong. This is ancient and powerful Qigong, where the body and mind work together. Soon your body will be doing what your mind visualizes. You may stand in Rainbow Sun as long as you want. In the video, we will stay there about a minute. The last movement of Part 3 is Heal with Rainbow Sun. In this movement, you will be guided to bring your focused attention back to your hands. Then you will be guided to slowly place your hands on one of three places, where you have a healing need, such as a shoulder or knee, or some place that might hurt, or the kidneys if you're exhausted, or the lower dantian where your whole body is nourished. Stay there until your hands feel empty. Last, you will be directed to slowly move your hands to lower dantian if you're not already there. And as always, remember to breathe. Now, we move to Part 4, Closing. The purpose of closing is to seal in the qi you have stored. Traditional Qigong closing movements are included in the practice section. Many of the places you are guided to massage are specific acupuncture points, including running your fingers through your scalp. If you're wearing hairspray, or there's some other reason you can't massage your scalp, use the tips of your fingers to tap from front to back, stimulating the points on your head. I'll end this instruction with a fun story as you watch closing movements. One day, while studying Qigong in China, we had a short, beautiful, old Qigong master guiding us in our closing postures. She got all excited when guiding us to massage our ears. Massage them, all over, harder, harder, until they are hot, hot, hot. And so I hear her and smile every time I do Qigong closing. I invite you to think of that when you massage your ears. Massage them until they are hot, hot, hot. I send you off to practice with these thoughts. May Rainbow Sun Qigong color your life with laughter, healing, joy, and inner peace.